Hello. So topic today. Something pretty big for me. Something pretty big. So something I haven't talked about here, and something that goes very much into the other videos. Process addictions, um, which I have a few, but one of the biggest ones that I've known for quite a while was my addiction to the bad side of YouTube, which really can come down to, when I really think about it, it's human suffering. It's really the underlying premise of a lot of the videos that I would watch. It's a lot of public freak out videos, car crash and bad driver videos, a lot of true crime. Very much was addicted to true crime. I couldn't stop, especially when I was really deep in depression. And I knew there was a big correlation between the two. And I had already tapered off quite a bit of it, but it was still there. And even though I wasn't really searching it out because of the algorithm and how long I had been into that type of stuff, no matter what I did, I just kept getting more recommendations. And there were a few times where, I went and started clearing out, like, don't recommend, don't recommend, don't recommend. But the algorithm remembers. So once I got rid of the most recent stuff, it would start sending me this old stuff. Like, hey, remember this crap you used to watch back in whenever? Yeah, here's some more of that so you can keep on clicking, which I would do. And really what brought this about was I'm coming up on my what is it, follow-ups from my heart attack. I'm going to the cardiologist on Wednesday. So I've been taking my blood pressure and realized it was not where I wanted to be. But luckily, because I have a machine, I was able to see exactly when my blood pressure was up, and it's during times of anxiety. And I knew for a fact, because of after my heart attack, I could feel anxiety. I can literally feel the pressure on my heart. That's by and large has gone away because I've been exercising. Diet's been great for the most part. I could definitely do with more vegetables. I'm getting there. Had a great omelet this morning with spinach and onions and mushrooms. It was wonderful. But I digress. I knew this has been bad for me, that side of YouTube, and just the amount of time. Literally, as soon as I get home, that's the first thing that I would do is turn on YouTube, and then I'm bombarded with little squares that are just begging to be clicked on, because that's what they're designed to do, is to get you to click on them, with outlandish titles and yeah. And and I'd been doing better with like things like the true crime. Like I said, I'd been taking steps to ease my recommendations and get it towards something else. So even like the true crime, I basically stopped the car crash stuff, but every once in a while I still, I had to go watch it. Watched a lot of body cams, police body cams, police interactions, and I realized that it's a lot of the videos were people at their absolute worst. And I knew when this started, it was when I was in very deep depression, and I wanted something. I wasn't thinking this consciously, but as I look back, it was hard for me to consume media or anything that was positive. For 10 years, I basically couldn't watch anything that was funny because I couldn't feel those things. But things like true crime, I could get with that. Human misery, I could understand that. My brain could process that. Good things, though, it was very hard. And I think I mentioned before in another video that curiosity completely went away. I lost my desire to learn, which was very strong when I was younger. But I just, I had no joie de vivre. Lust for life, I believe, is, yeah, I had none. So everything that I consumed, I think, went to reinforce that feeling. But now my depression is wonderful. I've worked incredibly hard to get where I am, but I still had remnants of that life, and my YouTube algorithm was probably one of the biggest things. Because almost in every other aspect of my life, I've been dropping things that don't serve me, things that have been holding me back. The YouTube algorithm was just too easy. I had been taking steps, but the algorithm remembers. The algorithm knows, and it's designed to give you the things that it knows that you will click on. And it knew that I liked, again, just people at their worst is really what it comes down to. Or people at their lowest, or when things just aren't going well, because that's just how I felt all the time, and that's just what I got used to. So fast forward again to my blood pressure and realizing there's a very direct correlation between my anxiety levels and my blood pressure. Because when I'm not consuming that stuff, my blood pressure was all the way down, or when things are calm around me. And there's quite a bit of stress in my other parts of my life, just because of what's going on. Things that beyond my control that I had to bear witness in, but I could see my blood pressure just spike when I was in those situations. And then when I was out of them, bloop bloop, right back down to where it should be. Because it's not my diet. I've been very good on that. It's just the anxiety. So, a few days ago, and I've been praying to my ancestors. That's a whole other thing. Getting back into more of my people's roots. But something told me that it was just time to get rid of the YouTube. Not this channel, obviously, because I have about 3 or 4 YouTube channels. Not that that I record videos on, but because I know very well the power of the algorithm. So I have a YouTube channel where I only search music, because all my recommendations on that channel, it's all music, and music that I like, and it gives me things that I would never have heard of because I only search for music on those sites. And I have another one that's only food, and another one that's only for the meditation. So all my algorithm is just based towards that. So I've known the power of the algorithm for some time. But then I have my main one, and this is the account that I've had since high school. So this is 20 years. 20 years of comments and playlists and just feeding that algorithm. And for at least 15 of those years, again, I only watched, just really bad things. Again, true crime especially was a big thing when I was in my depression, especially when I was in deep alcoholism. Especially when I was just at home in those days that I just couldn't get out of bed because I was drinking so much. What was I doing? Watching videos about murder. Not because, it was just something big in my family. We all call it murder, death, kill. Just something. Yeah, I that was just all I consumed entirely, way too much, because it made sense, because I felt that I didn't want to live. I felt that this was a world that I didn't particularly want to exist in. So it made sense to me. Well, it makes sense now. Again, these ideas weren't at the forefront of my mind. It was just something that I put on, something that I was just drawn to, because, again, in retrospect, that it mirrored what I was feeling on the inside. But again, the algorithm knew, and I tried to just delete the history because I thought that would do that, and it did for like a day. And then I came back the next day, and sure enough, there everything was just throwing right back at me. Then I found out that I could just delete the entire channel. And for over 20 years, I had something like 800 subscriptions. So all the comments that I had ever made, every playlist that I had ever made, all my subscriptions, with a few clicks of a button, were just gone. Just like that. And then once I did that, then it gave me like, oh, well, this email doesn't have a YouTube account associated with it. So it just started anew, completely new. And what have I spent the last couple of days doing? Basically a YouTube withdrawal, or at least from that type of stuff. Because I would come home and that's what I would put on. And typically it would be on from the time I got home until the time I went to sleep. And again, there were good chances I was just consuming things that had no benefit to me. It was things that didn't make me believe in this world. Because again, that's what YouTube knew I was watching. And even though I had taken steps to go into the more positive side, because of that history, YouTube just kept sending things to me. And even though I wasn't searching for these things, when it's right there, as soon as you log on, and there it is, like, hey, here's this new thing, and this thing, and this thing. And before you know it, it's time for me to go to bed, and I've been watching this stuff all night. But just with those few clicks of a button, it was all gone. And it's been hard the last couple days, because I still have that, this is something I've been doing in these types of media I was consuming for a decade and a half, at least. That's about when all this started. Because before, I just used YouTube for music, which is all I did for the first 10 years I had an account. I didn't watch anything except music on there. And it wasn't until I started searching all this other crap that it started corrupting that algorithm. But that's one thing that I really love about Recovery Dharma, which again I'll go into. That'll probably be the next video, because I know I've talked about it quite a bit, and it's been such an impact on my life. And just I'm kind of a pseudo Buddhist, but then also really getting into West African religion at the same time. It's all nonsense. But that's what I've been doing the last couple of days. Is now I've made a commitment to watch positive things. So my YouTube, I've only searched so far as educational things. And then I have that, and I've just been going between that and my music ones. And now I'm actually just watching shows and movies again, which I didn't do, because again, I was always stuck on YouTube. And even if I plan on watching something, that algorithm just knew this. I would see one video and, oh, let me just open that in another tab, and that in another tab. Oh, and what's that crazy title? Oh, let me just open that in another tab. And before you know it, I've got 5 or 6 tabs open with, 2 hours worth of videos to watch. And it's mostly just crap. Just time sink, waste of time, nothing to add to me as a person. And now it's gone. Now I have a chance to start something new. And it's already been great. But it's been hard. It has been hard because I'm still drawn. I sit down, I come in, I'm just so used to going right to that. And now I actually have to decide and figure out what I'm going to watch or what I'm going to do with my time. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm happy. But it's tough. It's process addiction. And I've known about it for a while, and this was a big step. A big step. And it's funny that I'm talking to you about a YouTube addiction while you're watching a video on YouTube, but you're right now, I'm assuming, on the good side of things because you're watching something that might help you, or hopefully. I don't know what you're doing. I don't even know why you're watching this. But I knew I needed to make this video, and that's one thing. Again, another big thing is I would get home and watch YouTube instead of making a YouTube video, which happened quite often because I get stuck. I got stuck all the time. But I made a step to change, and I'm liking where it's going. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I plan on not going back to that. Even certain channels where I said, oh, I'll just stick to that. Like the true crime, there was one channel, like that chapter, I figured, I would at least just do that. But I don't think that I'm going to anymore. Because to me, it was the same as a drug. And specifically a drug for my depression. I think it's like that part of me that was still stuck in that. There is still part of me in there, and I need to work on those last little bits that are still in there. And again, really doesn't serve me. It doesn't. So for now, I'm done watching those things. And I am going to push that if I am on YouTube, it's going to be music or something educational or something to do with food, recipes, something that will add to my soul, that will benefit my soul and just me as a person. Because life is too short. Tomorrow is a hope and a prayer, not a promise, and I want to spend my days becoming better in whatever ways I can, and whatever that looks like. But I know that avenue was not leading me there. And it was time to move on. So move on, I shall. Yes. Yes. And you know what? I think that's it. That was all I wanted to say. And maybe if you're stuck on things like that too, you maybe think about it. It's very easy to start a new Gmail account and just start a new YouTube. Like I said, I've got 4, and it's very easy to switch between the two. That's a whole other thing. But I'm happy with what I did. It was a big step, a huge step. Doesn't seem like much. May not seem like much on the outside, but I know for me and my psyche, it was huge. Huge. And now I have more time to do the things that I know that I should be doing. So there we go. Well, thank you for watching. I hope this helped you in some way. I know it helped me. And I know I did the right thing. So, that was my video on YouTube addiction that I'm going to post on YouTube. So, I hope this finds you well. I hope this helped you in some way. Thank you for watching. Bye.